you have the structural lines. These are the structural lines, right? And these instead are lines that add the value to it, and they're flat. So they don't compete with each other. They help each other. And it makes sense because one clearly is much more connected with, actually is created considering carefully the structure aspect, right? The turning of the form. Whereas the other one, it puts a value over it. The two are so different that you tell them apart. And you know, one is for one specific purpose and one is for another purpose. So the one that is parallel, you know, they're flat, they're parallel. They're not telling me about the turning of the form. They're telling me about value. So you can see in here, he pushed this back. First, you got the structural lines here, the construction of the figure, see that? And down here, you put these lines on top of it to push it back. So one is structure and one is tonal. So the purely tonal would be very soft, you don't see the line, but it also works like this. For example, if I have, let me show you a quick example here, right? If I have a line like this, right? As I say, these are the structural line, right? Or it could be a hair, right? It's not a hair, it's a drawing. If I want to block over here shadow, right, or a darkening, I do this, right? See that? And I don't lose that. I still have it, have the distinction between the two. But if I want to darken, so let's say I have another line like this, right? And this is going to be my new structural line. If I try to darken this, doing this, I lose that in a second. Make sense? Because this is just going all over the place. So the line is going to be the structure. You can classify the line as the structural lines like this, right? And which is kind of describe the turning of the volume. The other one describes the value. If this is parallel and regular, even if there is space in between, it's fine. The two respect each other. Not here though. That's why when you're blocking the values, right, don't throw it out like that unless you then what you're doing is just putting down material that you're going to work on it with a stump, defining it, etc. But the line overall, they had to describe the marks. Let's say the mark had to describe either the form or the value, the light. And if they don't do that, then you got a problem of clarity in your drawing, right? This it's just at the core, right? When you get to understand very well these two differences, you can then develop specific technique, interpretation, etc., etc. Sometimes you see artists that throw a lot of stuff on lots of graphite, charcoal, and it's a big mess. But they gradually refine it, right? So, but that's still it presupposes that you know what one line is for, what the other one line is for, because eventually they develop the work tonally or structure or both, understanding the characteristic of both.